Hello, salutations, what it do? It's Stop the Gamer, all five, the Do-Rag Gang. You know the vibes, like a subscribe, let's get it. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's definitely early afternoon for me. Sup, Rakeem? Sup, Tom? What's going on? Beyond John Smith. Morning, Zach. Sup, Kevin? Did I say loadouts were confirmed? Yes. What's going on, Elijah? What's my favorite level in the Avengers game? Any level that doesn't crash is my favorite level. Now, all the Avengers initiative is pretty mid. I think pretty much the best missions in Marvel's Avengers tend to be in the campaigns, but there's no chapter select, so you can't really replay them. But the assault on the helicarrier is probably their best mission. I also like the final boss fight in the War for Wakanda campaign. The MODOK boss fight was really good. What's going on, Cito? Advice on girls yesterday helped you. Got the number. We found the link. Well, glad I was able to be of some assistance. We out here changing lives every stream. What's going on, Robert? What's up, Kratos? What's up, John? Greetings and salutations to you, sir. What's going on, Omar? Aqua in the building. Nope, we're all right on time. So I'm going to be going over the Devstream recap, and a good portion of that Devstream recap most people cared about was the Spider-Man portion, but I'm also going to be talking about the raid. Should be interesting. There's supposed to be more info coming Monday about gear and everything, so stay tuned for that. Sub 24-bit, sub Jav. Can I ask if Spider-Man will be available for PC in the future? You're going to have to ask Sony that. A dev would not have that information. Thoughts on gear, raid, etc. Sounds fun. All right, yeah, I'll get into that in a minute. All right, so as you know, Devstream was yesterday. Thank you everyone, by the way, who came out for that. It was pretty big one. We got 12,000 views and counting on that stream. It was almost 1,000 people in there at any given time, so appreciate that as usual. Do I think with the release of Spider-Man's comic accurate skins will bring more comic classic suits? No. So the way cosmetics works in Marvel's Avengers is they base the comics that the skins that they put out on their metrics, sales, popularity of certain characters. That's why Iron Man and Captain America have so many skins. They are some of the more popular characters that people use, so they funnel their marketplace priorities towards those certain characters. Who confirmed loadouts? They had a whole loadout dev stream before War for Wakanda dropped. They had a whole dev stream dedicated to loadouts and the new UI changes, and they just talked about how it was all going to work and confirmed that loadouts would not be available when War for Wakanda dropped, but it would be something that they had down the line. They just made those UI changes so that the infrastructure was in place. Love you too. Hawks v Haters Gaming. What's up, Roplex? All right, so they released this blog right after the Devstream ended. They spent the first half talking about the Spider-Man skins, and they showed some off, and Andy got his arm twisted a little bit, so he showed a little extra, and then they put a bonus skin in the blog. So for those that missed it, the skins they showed off, of course, was the classic suit inspired by Steve Ditko. They gave us another look at the iconic suit, which I think is pretty good. Reminds me of, design wise, looks like they took some inspiration from the Ditko, but also reminds me of the No Way Home. I mean, the Homecoming. They also drew inspiration from Earth's Mightiest Heroes. Great show. Then they showed off the Bugle Boy. This one is a little Crystal Dynamics original. Shows Spider-Man mid transformation. He's got the mask, but he's still rocking his journalist attire. I think this one's pretty good. This one's going to be, I think this one's going to be a niche favorite, but I like it. And then this one was not on the stream, but they whipped out the Secret War suit for the benefit of folks, which I thought was pretty fire. And definitely, I actually think it's better than the inspiration, to keep it a bean. Inspired, of course, by Gabriel's Secret Wars limited series. I think that looked good. Then they got the Mark 1. Based off, of course, Web of Spider-Man number 100. And the Mark 3, of course. This one I might be rocking a little more than the others. That one's pretty good. So I saw some people comparing it to the Insomniac version because they have this suit in there as well, but while it doesn't look like the Insomniac suit, that's because they drew from different inspirations from ends of the earth. As you see, Crystal Dynamics took more inspiration from this particular version of the suit with the lines on the face. I thought it came out pretty well. And then, of course, we got the Noir suit. People were hoping for the symbiote, but don't think that's something they would show off this early in the game. Of course, inspired from Spider-Man Noir number 1. So those were the Spider-Man skins. If you're on Xbox, I know you're upset that you're not going to get Spider-Man, but you got something. I mean, it's not better, but better than nothing. They got a new bundle for Disney Plus Day. If you are a Game Pass Ultimate member, you get 1 month of Disney Plus, the Black Panther strategist outfit, the entire aerospace outfit set from Marvel's Avengers, as well as the Kate Bishop chin-up emote. You can claim that right now in the perks gallery. So if you are on Xbox and you've got the Game Pass Ultimate, you get something. You get a little something. It's not Spider-Man, but it's something, you know. you can watch that new Spider-Man series if you stick with Disney Plus. So as for the recap of the dev stream where they talked about the raid, so they talked about some new perks, how the rewards are going to be, and I'm a little skeptical. What's going on, JDC? So Alex talked about some of the perks, and I know a bunch of you were having trouble following along. Alex knows a lot about gear, obviously very passionate about the game. Not the best communicator. That's why they're going to put this all on the blog that's going to be available on Monday. And you'll be able to see more clearly exactly what they're going to do with the raid. But I did remember a bit of it. What's going on, Wavy? Just showing off the Spider-Man skins from yesterday. Talking about the raid right now. So they talked about some of the perks that are coming. They did confirm that they're going to be locking stats once again, which is something that we have said we don't like, particularly when it comes to the gear in Wakanda. But he did pay lip service to that. Oh, we look at feedback and that's something we could change in the future, whatever. So sounds like the perks that are going to, the stats that are prioritized during the raid are going to be precision, valor, might, and I think there's going to be some precision as well. But those were the main ones that he mentioned, I remember. And the status effects that they're going to be prioritizing for that gear is going to be, that drops from the raid, is going to be Sonic and Vibranium. So for the people that wanted Sonic and Vibranium exotics, you're in luck. That's coming with the raid. Now, the emphasis is that they wanted to have more specific perks. They didn't want to just have gear that's, just has generic perks. So they kind of leaned into perks that affected the way you played, as well as hero specific stuff. So some examples that they gave, they're rolling out this new perk, Sonic Conduit. And the way Sonic Conduit is going to be on apparently all of the raid gear. And the way it works is it's going to be a perk that's just either on or off. And what happens is if you do Sonic on an enemy, you're going to be able to, if you're standing near the enemy that's affected by Sonic, you're going to be able to transfer some of those benefits to your teammates. And when your teammates are affected by this Sonic Conduit and are getting that charge burst to their intrinsics and their heroics, it's going to activate different perks for them. So we're going to get to see what those are later down the line. But essentially, they're having the Sonic Conduit. They're having some perks that give you an incentive to actually play with your team, which is very important for the raid in particular. They emphasize that the raid is something where you're going to need to be working, together. You're going to need to be talking on the mic because they got puzzles to figure out, as well as boss fights that have phases. So you're definitely going to have to be able to coordinate and work together rather than just going with your head down and just, do whatever. So matchmaking is probably going to be difficult in that regard. It should be easier if you're matchmaking for the elite raid, because I don't think, normal players are going to be doing the elite raid anytime soon. So this is probably why you're going to be best suited to, finding people on the Discord, in the chat, other that you can, specifically get together for the raid, so that you can guarantee that you're working with people that at least know what they're doing and can communicate openly, because if it's as, challenging or requires coordination like they say, then it's definitely going to be a thing. So look out for that. They talked about some hero specific perks, like they're going to have a perk for Hawk where he gets I think he says something like 80% increase in rock damage, which is not the best, but I mean, obviously I have no intention of rock throwing with Hawk, but he's got some, you can melee with the rocks as well. It's just kind of clunky, but hopefully he has perks that aren't just for rocks. Melee rock damage, not range. Well, we actually don't know that for sure until we actually see the perks themselves. In the stream, he said rock damage. It does not necessarily mean it's going to be, it could just be all rock damage. It could just, they could specifically mention melee in the perk, but all we know is that it's going to be rock damage. I don't know if well, maybe you heard something differently. I know Alex talks really fast. I know he specifically said rock damage. I checked the stream too. I was live streaming it while he said it. I heard him say rock damage. We'll see when the actual perk comes out. It's really not relevant. So they had a few. So they also mentioned that Hawkeye was going to have something, to boost his bag of tricks as well. He mentions basically the split multiplier. You already have that on your operative's armor. So he's apparently going to get something more on his exotic for the raid. He said using it as a melee weapon. I'm going to wait till I actually see the perk myself. I'm going to wait till I actually see the gear myself. So they also said that they're going to bring the Tachyon Surge back. They mentioned that in the last blog, but they did mention that even though, because they're bringing the Tachyon Surge buff back, they're just reducing the time that it's active from going down from, I believe, 20 to 10 seconds. They said that they're going to try to have some exotic perks that are able to match the Tachyon Surge buff. I don't know how that's going to turn out. Tachyon Surge is pretty powerful. I'm not sure if they're going to have a gear perk that can match up with the god roll of targeted buff plus Tachyon Surge. Yeah, I know what this melee rock does. I just want to see the actual gear piece for myself. I used to run that. I used to use that version of Hawk early on, so I'm aware of how it works. I just want to see the actual gear piece for myself. So he also confirmed that you're going to be fighting the giant version of Claw. I know people were disappointed that when they saw in the campaign, they did the trailer where they advertised Claw being a giant, but then he immediately shrunk down to roughly the size of Crossbones. But they apparently didn't have that ready, or they were just saving it for the raid. So for the raid, we are definitely getting a giant version of Claw for the boss fight. Sounds like that's probably going to be the final version of the raid. Maybe the final fight. Claw, you have to beat Giant Claw. Who knows? Maybe it'll be 2-part. You fight Giant Claw, then you knock him down, and then he's Small Claw again, and then you have to beat him one more time. That's what it's probably going to be. Yeah, they mentioned they're going to have. It's not going to be the typical pattern for attack for the OLT or other missions. It's going to be a combination of of smaller boss fights and puzzles, not just going into a new room, clearing mobs. You're going to have to also clear the puzzles as well. Avengers data reset. You're going to replay the whole thing and grind again later. Don't do that. Just load a backup save. Do not start all over again. Just load a backup save. There should be one from at least one from the last few days before you reset, so that you don't have to start over. Think Crossbones will be a mini boss? I think Crossbones is definitely going to be a mini boss. I don't think they had time to add any new villains or anything crazy like that. They've had their hands full. So I think we're going to see Crossbones come back. And of course you have the Echoes. Those are the new enemy types they're adding just for the raid. But yeah, I would be very surprised not to see Crossbones pop up. They said someone we haven't seen before. I'm calling cap on that. I want to see it to believe it's probably Crossbones. We're going to have Crossbones. We're going to have the Echoes, and we'll see what other bosses they come up with. I hope they don't just stuff Taskmaster and Abomination in there because nah. I don't I don't want to see. I don't want to see them pop up during the raid. I know there aren't that many enemies in the game, but come on. I rather they just have. I just rather they just have different versions of Echoes. Maybe an elite Echo, smaller Echo, and the regular Claw Company. I don't want to see. I don't want to see Maestro pop up. Baggage tricks ×3. Yeah, they reluctantly said that Hawkeye players are going to get a boost, as if playing a bag of tricks was a bad thing. That definitely rubs some people the wrong way. Ultron, yeah, no, they're not going to roll out Ultron as a surprise boss for the raid. That would be weird, especially since they've been building up Ultron all this time. They wanted to make Ultron his own villain sector so they can promote it as additional content. I don't see them throwing him in for the raid. Crossbones mysterious twin, Bone Cross. Yeah, right. Or Crossbones, but he's been consumed by the Echo, so he's Echo Bones. He's just basically Crossbones, except he's got a pink aura or whatever, or whatever they do for the sound waves. I'm not expecting anything too crazy when it comes to the mini bosses. I'm just hoping the raid functions, because once again, no join in progress. They are finally working on it, at least, but we're almost in year 2 and they're only just working on join in progress. So if you crash during the raid, there's nothing you could do. You got to start over, find a new team. If you're playing in a raid and one of your teammates crash, something happens, then you have to finish it with 3 players. Nothing you can do. What's up, Lejeune? Rip Pug groups. You got kicked from the Mega Hive? Yeah, I got kicked. I had to drop from the OLT because I was playing it for some footage, and we got stuck during the transition that happens after the mech fight. You're supposed to advance to the next stage, and we got stuck and teleported to different parts of the map, and I was stuck inside. I was under the map. I was just running around. I couldn't get out, so I had to drop out, and everybody else left. It was not great. You tried to restart. You tried that. No data. There was no data in the gameplay menu. That must have been a whole corrupt. It must have, your whole thing must have got corrupted. That sucks. Hold on, casual. They did not say who Spider-Man voice actor is going to be, but next week they are going to be revealing who that is. They're also going to have the next week's stream. They said they're going to be talking about Spider-Man's voice actor. They're also going to have Megan. If you're a launch day player, you remember Megan. She's coming back. She's making her grand return to Marvel's Avengers, outside of, Twitter, where she, went at Avengers hater. She's coming back for the Devstream next week. Andy's not going to be there. Should be interesting. Yeah, the vision that MODOK will return. They were supposed to have been a MODOK villain sector, but they kind of behind on all the content. So maybe next year. Check the cloud for, yeah, I would imagine there's got to be something there. I hope you don't have to start over. Ready for the Tyversal. Oh yeah, so we got 2 minutes until the gaming session. Megan was in charge of the community team. If you've seen that famous clip that was circulating when the XP boosters came out, when they promised no loot boxes, no pay to win scenarios, that was Megan. She also used to post in the subreddit. Well, going to have to do some extra grinding. Yeah, that's a lot of stuff to make up for it. That sucks. Godslave said this game is dead. His data was from Steam. Yeah, I mean, Young does the same thing. They obviously, yeah, the game is dead on Steam, but obviously there are way more people on console than Steam. Everyone knows this, but you can't push the same narrative if you, plus the PlayStation and Xbox numbers aren't really readily available. Obviously, the game being a top 10 seller on PlayStation and being a top sell and being one of the top games on Xbox after Game Pass doesn't fit the narrative of a dead game. So obviously they have to use the Steam numbers, but we know it is. Save the units. So once again, new Devstream next week. Spider-Man voice actor is going to be revealed. They're going to do a blog on Monday about gear. There's going to be a blog also coming up about the cosmetic rework, where they're going to be talking about shipments and everything. Look out for that. If you haven't already, check out my video on my channel about shipments, about how to get infinite units. You're going to need those for the shipments. You can get up to 999,000 units, which is more than enough to do whatever you got to do with the shipments when that goes live on the 30th. I'm pretty sure I know who the voice actor is, but looking forward to the reveal nonetheless. Thank you guys for stopping by. It is time for the game session. If you are a member of the channel, feel free to hang out. I'm mainly going to be playing Tyversal and Demon Slayer, but we can play something else as well. Let me know. If you once again, if you want to become a member, hit that join button. I'm also doing the giveaway, of course. I announced this yesterday. If we get to 8,000 subs by the 30th, I'm going to be giving away gift cards so you can get yourself some Spider-Man skins in the marketplace. But I'm speculating, but I'm gonna let y'all see for yourself who the voice actor is. But it's definitely not Yuri. All right, guys, be safe once again. Tyversal. I'll see you on Demon Slayer. I'm Scott the Gamer, signing out.